This is a long time coming. This is the moose leather or the leather shop adjustable tote. I don't know what took me so long to make this video, to be honest with you, but I've had a lot of fun wearing and enjoying this bag, and I packed it out for you today for the full review as a travel bag, because that's kind of what I've been using it for. When I first got it, I used it religiously as a work bag only, and then I went away for the weekend or for a business trip or something like that and took this with me, and just loved it for that. So that's how I packed it out for you today, and I'm just going to do this. You can see when I say I packed it out, I mean I packed it out. It's stuffed to the gills, and I can't even close the top. But anyways, before we talk about what's inside and how I packed it out, I want to just talk a little bit about the exterior of the bag. So this is the front of the bag. They've got their subtle moose leather branding on the front. There are no pockets on the front side. Here we have the shoulder carry straps, and I'm going to talk about the other ways that you can carry the bag in a minute, but I want to just first go through the outside. On either side, they have a pretty deep pocket here that has a really smart design, which is a snap. The reason the snap's really smart is because typically the snap goes the other way, meaning it's permanently affixed to the bag and then it snaps to the pocket. But here they've done it the reverse, which is really nice, because then when you don't snap it, which is how I do it most of the time, it's not in your way when you try to put something in there, versus it would be covering the pocket if they had to fix it the other way. And this bag is just, that's what this bag is in a nutshell. Lots and lots of thoughtful design elements like this one. And let me swing it around to the back so you can see it. More of their branding here, and a made in the USA, which I love having the opportunity to review something like that. And then on this side, another snap closure, which I put kind of my go-to wallet. And you can see right here, like the, not rivets, but the hardware on my wallet, when it goes in there, it scratches the sides. So such is the nature of this sort of yellow, buttery, orange, I'm not sure how to describe it, color. It's going to show scratches and marks and dirt. So you're somebody that prefers their leather is more on the pristine side versus showing all the character of where it's been. I would probably say, and I'm going to turn it this way actually, this is not the color for you. But that brings me to another element of this bag and this maker. He will customize for you a lot of elements. And so it's really refreshing to get the opportunity to work with somebody that'll custom the bags. A lot of times they won't. And I customed a fair amount of things on this bag. You can custom the height, the width, the pockets. You can add a crossbody strap if you want it. They have D-rings regardless. You could add feet to the bottom, so when it's resting on the floor, it's not the leather that's touching. You can custom the pockets the way they are on the inside. You can custom the colors. You can have two-tone. You can have it all one color. And so lots of different choices there, and you can have a snap closure for security or nothing at all. So lots of options. Let's talk a little bit about how I packed it out. So when I travel, when I hotel, well actually even if I plane, it doesn't matter. If I plane or car travel, when I get out, when I get to the hotel, the first thing I do is take kind of my go bag, and that's everything I need right then. So I get out, and in that bag is everything I need kind of for that night, and that's how I tend to pack. And then obviously my husband brings in my suitcase, but generally my kiddo and I kind of go first, and I have sort of this little go bag setup. So I'm going to empty it, both just to show you the capacity of the bag, and then so we could talk about the features on the interior. And so here's what I put in, and it's a really surprising amount for a tote this size. I put in a full set of pajamas. So I feel like when you get out of the car, I don't know about you, I always arrive at the hotel, it's always really late, and I really just want to like shower, put my pajamas on, watch TV, etc. And so I like having everything kind of at the ready. And then I put this in here more so for capacity, but it is also really nice to have a glass of wine when you sort of get to your final destination. And it's in a leather wine holder, but more so is the point, you could easily fit like a swell bottle, which is smaller than a bottle of wine. And so that's that. And then I put in, and this is all just sort of loose on the main part of the bag, I put my 2 glass cases, sunglasses, and my driving glasses. And then I put in this thing, which is my giant dop kit, which I've recently discovered. Men have been keeping this a secret from us for ages, and I don't know why we try to cram our stuff into these itty bitty cosmetic bags when we're the ones that have lots of toiletries and makeup, right? So anyways, they have this gorgeous big bag, and I've sort of, I don't know, I've repurposed it. I feel like women out there, get the dop kit, give it give it a shot because it's going to be a game changer. It lays flat too. Like our cosmetic bags don't have good bases, but look at this dop kit. It's so logical. Then I could pull it out like this and store it vertically. Anyways, this is not a review on a dop kit. Just my 2 cents. And then the other thing is when I get to wherever I'm going, I have to check email right away because I can't relax until I do. And so I keep that with me. When I used to carry this exclusively as a work bag, I'd also carry like my giant clunky cord, and it fit in there no problem with all my typical work stuff. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, I'm going to show you what else I have in here. So here are my giant keys, how I usually put them on, and I'm going to unsnap this. They have 2 interior D-rings here, and it comes sort of with this key leash / key fob, and this clips onto the D-ring, or vice versa. Of course they say that, and I can't get it on. Okay, there we go. And then there's this, which is sort of permanently affixed in there. I use this, which is a fish hook. That way I don't have to deal with snapping and unsnapping. But if you didn't want to use the fish hook, obviously you could just make use of this key leash and have it always on your person, the entire leash, and then when you go to put in your bag, you just snap that in. I find the fish hook to be a little bit easier, and then I don't have a thing. But anyway, so that's that, and I would always put that on. And one of the things I appreciate about this bag is the length of the key fob, right? If it's too short, it's sort of awkward. If it's too long, your keys drag on the bottom. But this one's like this perfect medium length. Okay, so now I've emptied the bag a bit. I'm gonna just tilt it forward. Hopefully you can appreciate some of that, but we're gonna talk about what's in there. So what makes this bag is the extreme level of detail, like I talked about a little bit on the design elements, and also the customization and the organization. So inside there are 6 pockets. Before we talk about pockets, I'm going to pull this out so it's not in our way for our discussion. If you saw my unboxing, don't laugh. I pulled this out of the unboxing, was like, square handles? What the heck? Anyways, it turns out they're not square handles. This is another smart design feature. By squaring off the handles and putting rivets here as opposed to having a single piece of leather, when this is on the interior of your bag, it lays perfectly flat. That means it's not intruding and detracting from the space that you have available. It's just laying very flat and flush against the front and back. So otherwise, if you prefer, it can be a hand carry bag. And what's interesting is whenever I took it to work, I ended up using it as a hand carry. And I never imagined that I would use that. I always thought I'd be kind of using it in tote mode, like over the shoulder. But I just really liked carrying it like that. And when it was heavy, it was kind of nice to be able to carry it by my hands. So that's that. And notice, hopefully you can notice, that in order to do the rivet here, he's got and I'll sort of pull these like this. You can see he's got kind of a double strap here. It's really strong. And that's very clever, that squared off thing. I've never seen that before. So it's D-rings, and I'll just do this. I'll move the other one to the exterior, and then we can talk about the pockets. So on the side closest to me, there is a very deep pocket, and I'm going to use my phone sort of to describe it. It's a little taller than my Samsung Galaxy S7, and it's much wider. And so that pocket, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but I'll put some other stills at the end. That pocket sort of runs the middle of the bag and almost all the way to the bottom. Behind that and above that is another open shallow pocket, and that one is pretty much exactly the size of my phone. If I put my phone in like this horizontally, it's a little snug, and if I put my phone in like this, it sticks out. So hopefully that gives you an idea of that. And then let's swing it around this way, and I'll do this. So this one has a similar setup, meaning it's 2 pockets, kind of a lower pocket with a lower opening, and then above that, the same sort of shallower pocket, but this one has a zipper. And the nice part about this zipper is, first of all, it's a YKK zipper, so that's nice, but it has a really nice pull, like a lot of hardware on the pull, and it just makes it easy. Normally that piece has like a small zipper thing, I don't know what you call that, and this one's not that way, so it makes opening and closing that one really easy. And that one's a relatively shallow pocket as well, kind of phone size is how I describe it. So that's 2 pockets here that are open, and 2 pockets on this side, one open, one zippered. And then on either side, he's got more pockets, and they're kind of the mirror pockets of what you see here. The only thing that I will say is they're not quite as deep. So they kind of stop about 2 inches, whereas this one, actually, let me take it back. They are the same exact same. So it's the exact same mirrored pocket as you see here on the exterior, on the interior. And just the way the bag sort of works, because somebody was asking me, can you put a water bottle in there? And it seems like you should be able to. This is a swell, but you really can't. And I don't want to stress the bag trying to get that in there. And can you do it on the interior? Let me see. You can't really do it on the interior. So neither of these really would fit kind of a standard issue swell bottle. But let's get back to it. So he has 2 pockets on the interior that more or less mirror the size on the exterior. The only other thing that I can say that's really, really smart is on this pocket, only on one of the interior side pockets, he's got like 2 pen holders. And that's affixed to the pocket. The other thing that I think is really nice about it is if you use this fish hook thing and you're not into hooking your key on and off on the key fob, you can just use the fish hook and drop it in the pen holder. So that actually is really nice. Or you could hang it from the side pockets. Let me show you what I'm doing. I don't know if I can do it here. I can't do it on the exterior because he has this leather here is really, really thick. The interior pocket, the leather's a little thinner, so the fish hook will go on. But so that's an option as well, to just hang your keys. And so that's it for the interior organization. We have 2 pockets on either side, the front and the back, all of them very generously sized, and then 2 here, and then the pen holders. So that's it for the interior. I wish I could, here, let's do this. And I'll talk you through it too. So obviously has interior seams, which is really nice, but he's also piped the seams. Like there's leather piping and it's reinforced with rivets. And I'll show you a couple interior stills. What that says to me is this bag is sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. And I packed this bag out a lot for work and it never showed any signs of stress. And let me just point some of that out to you. Like, see these pockets here? These are the pockets that I'm referring to on the interior. But you can see, like, at all the stress points, he's riveted it. Here, he's got 2 rivets. It's just a level of detail that's really, frankly, pretty nice. It's an unlined interior, so you have the rough out suede side here that you're seeing. And that is it. I do want to talk a little bit about version 2.0. So I'm going to do this. I asked for security reasons to have a snap closure. And let me show you what that looks like, right? So it's really tight. Like, look how much it brings the bag together. So typically when you pack out a tote that has this kind of depth, you have so much stuff in, you're not bringing the top of the bag together this tight. In version 2.0, what I would love to see is make this tab probably almost 3 times as long as it is, with multiple levels of snaps, so that even if the bag is like this, like fairly full how I had it, I could still reach this strap across and snap it in. Because what ends up happening is most of the times I don't get to utilize the snap closure. And the other thing that I would say is, so he probably made it short so that if you don't use it, you don't have this giant thing sort of dangling in there. But what I would suggest is put snaps on the interior. So if you choose not to use it, you could just snap it down and it's completely out of the way. So let me do that. And let me just show you the bag otherwise. So this is it on. This is the way I carried it a lot of the time if it was really heavy. And then if I was going to the office, most of the time I did the the hand carry as well. I have no comments about the drop. For me, the drop is really, really nice. But I think you can work with him to custom it if it's not your thing. My only other version 2.0 is that because I did end up using these a lot, I would say he should give us the option of having which one we want on the outside. Because if it ends up that you use these a lot, the hand carries, you just take this sort of elegant bag and then you have this dangling here. And he says in his directions, because he gives you kind of a quick and dirty info sheet on your beautiful bag, which I actually really liked. He says when you store the bag, don't store the outside handles like this, because they'll eventually sort of scratch the bag. He says store all the handles inside your bag, which is kind of a good tip, just generically speaking, for when you store your leather bags. But what I felt like was when I was carrying it like this, I would sort of like think, oh, I wonder if this is like ruining it. So long story short, I wish that these were reversed, that the short handle was on the outside and the long handle was on the inside, because since I carry it most of the time that way, I want this one tucked out of the way. And I think I'd also do this, square it off so it can lay in there flat. But that's it. I think I have a whopping total of 2 corrections or version 2.0 things that I want to see on this bag. It's an amazing work bag. It's an amazing sort of plain carry-on or weekend getaway bag. I think it would also make an outstanding diaper bag. I'm sort of past that point in my life, but the level of organization, I feel like I can sort of see it coming together, like a bottle and nappies and sort of wet wipes here and all that good stuff, and then change of clothing, all that. This is moose leather out of Washington. This is the adjustable tote, super customizable. Thank you so much for waiting for this review, and thank you so much for watching.